Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to unironically listen to ska, although it's been about 20 years since I've done that.
Hey, that's the benefits of writing the intro line. It means I get to make the intro about ska. We're going to talk about Tony Hawk in a second, but Bruce, I texted you about this in the middle of the night. The audience needs to know there is a Mexican ska band called Los Scarnales, and that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Anyway, Tony Hawk or whatever.
My wife is Mexican, and she has told me not only many stories, but also has recommended me many amazing Mexican ska bands. So I already knew about that movement, Lawrence. I was way ahead of you.
Yeah, why weren't you texting me then? My phone's quiet at 2 a.m. when I could be listening to Mexiska.
Okay, the reason we're talking about ska is because Activision announced Tony Hawk 3 and 4. It's coming July 11th, early access on July 8th. Wait, why is there a lull there?
Because it's early access for a remaster of a game that came out 20 years ago. Am I the only one that thinks that's absurd? How you get early access is even more absurd. We'll get there. But this is ridiculous. You want early access for something you haven't played before, and it's new and exciting. I guess I've ranted about this a lot, and I'm doing it again, so I apologize. But this is how they raise the MSRP of a game. It doesn't come out on July 11th. It comes out on July 8th if you pay $30 extra or whatever. And then it'll go on sale 3 days later. Anyway, we should be happy. This is a happy occasion. We all get to retreat back to the 2000s, and those years were great for everyone, apparently. So,
guys, Lawrence is exactly correct, by the way. So there's new skaters, gnarlier tricks, and even sicker soundtrack. And for the first time in 10 years, brand new parks. That's
kind of cool. Yeah. This is in good hands too. This game is being developed by Iron Galaxy. They do a load of port work and have made a few original games. They handled the Windows port of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which everyone loved. That game was developed by Vicarious Visions, but they got absorbed into Blizzard. So now Iron Galaxy gets 3 and 4.
It's coming to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, and fans who pre-order any edition of the game starting today will receive access to the Foundry demo in June and the wireframe Tony shader at launch. I don't know what that is.
It sounds pretty self-explanatory. Actually,
wait, it does? The Tony shader? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, wireframe. So you're just a little wireframe of Tony Hawk skating around.
That's what you get for pre-ordering?
Yeah.
A little wireframe Tony? That's it?
But you're not just going to pre-order the base version of the game. Come on, you gotta spread it around, get some digital goodies. So it looks like we got $50 for the base game if you want to pre-order that, $70 for the digital deluxe edition. If you pre-order this, you get early access on July 8th, lol. But you also get all right, they might have me here. The digital deluxe edition includes Doom Slayer and Revenant characters from Doom.
Oh, they got Lawrence. They got him.
They might get me. They might get me. Doom Slayer doing a little kickflip. Come on, that's great. And a little bony man. Actually, I have one of them right here. See? Imagine him on a little skateboard.
Oh, there he is.
Anyway, you get that stuff. You get in-game skate decks, create a skater items, create a character, ska, Richter. And more, they say. So even more digital goodies for $70. But the real prize is the $130 collector's edition. What does it come with, Bruce?
Oh my gosh, this includes everything in the digital deluxe edition, like Lawrence talked about with Doom, as well as a limited edition full-size Birdhouse skateboard deck with a printed Tony Hawk autograph. So that's not an actual autograph from Tony Hawk. It's just printed on the board.
So there you go, Bruce. Tony Hawk's 3 and 4. It's been rumored for a while. Here it is. I guess it's, pretty safe nostalgia trawling, right?
Absolutely. I've struggled, Lawrence, I'm going to be honest with you. I struggle very, very hard to be excited for a remaster of anything, really. There are a few games that I'm kind of excited for. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta I'm looking forward to. But even then, I think that's a full remake. That's not a remaster. I guess this is a full remake as well. You're totally right where they're charging $70 or more for 3 days of early access to a remake of a video game. This might be a bridge too far for some people here in 2025.
And that's Activision pricing. They've always been pretty aggressive with their games, especially with chopping them up, dicing them and selling them off in pieces. So the game, as we mentioned, will be part of Game Pass, but you have that $20 digital upgrade that'll get you the early access and the Doom characters that I clearly can't say no to. So there's still some nickel and diming going on, and I guess this is going to be the business model on Game Pass going forward, right? Avowed did it as well, where you get access to the base game 3 days later, unless you buy a $20 upgrade. And I wonder how the business is moving on that. Pretty smart way to do it, though, I have to admit.
It's fun to say because we say it a lot on the show. We were right, Lawrence, with Starfield. Starfield was the first time they started doing this early access thing with Game Pass, and we said this is going to be the future going forward. I mean, because they were already doing early access, been doing it for years, but Starfield was a major player in pushing this early access, especially on Game Pass. And they're going to keep doing it because it keeps working. So if you're like, I don't like that they're doing this is stupid, don't buy it. That's it. That's the answer. Because then, and get all your friends not to buy it, because then they won't do it anymore.
Yeah. Where the money goes, the business follows. I tend to assume in reverse, if a company is doing something or they're continuing to do something, it's because it's probably working. I don't think they would keep doing it if it weren't earning money. So it's funny too. There was a ton of hand wringing about Game Pass and the model's inability to sustain AAA development. Maybe this is how you carve off a little extra margin. You get a little more in the squeeze, or at least more slices of the pie, I guess, to make it more business sounding. Hey, speaking of slicing that pie and Activision keeping all of it for themselves, we have a bit of a follow-up from yesterday's story. Activision got caught with their hand in the AI cookie jar, but it's not quite what it seemed on the surface.
Yeah, Eurogamer spotted a Reddit post showing that the ads that we were showing you yesterday, the AI ads for a video game, which is Guitar Hero Mobile, they just redirect you to a page saying this isn't a real game, but could be someday. So it's basically marketing for a game that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, I guess the Instagram posts were being used as ads, which is why you could just see them as a post. But yeah, it redirects you to a survey saying, why did you click on this? Would you play this? How would you play this? So yeah, even though it's going through Activision's official accounts, it really is just surveying people for market data about interest in mobile versions of Guitar Hero. I mean, they also had fake AI-generated ads for mobile games that were ostensibly called Call of Duty Zombie Defender. I don't know why you'd be defending zombies, and then also Call of Duty Sniper, both of which don't exist, but send you to a little survey to fill out.
Yeah, it's this is an interesting thing because it's the AI part of this is drumming up a lot of clicks for them. I don't know about surveys, but it is drumming up a lot of clicks because people are angry about it. So, I as usual, like I always say, if you are upset about AI, don't click through and fill out the survey. Don't do that because then you're encouraging them to create more AI ads and do the same thing.
They've got our monkey brains though. It reminds me of YouTube thumbnails, the way it works, honestly. You're just scrolling through your Instagram feed and you see Guitar Hero, and all of a sudden the 2000s neurons and the ska starts firing in the back of your brain. And then you stop and you read and you tap and you go through. Same with YouTube thumbnails. There's everyone's competing to get everyone's attention in the fraction of a second that they get you while you're scrolling by. So it makes a lot more sense now too, given the copyright discussion we had. Not a game yet. They haven't copywritten anything. Maybe the name, but the logo hasn't been AI generated, just the background, and they don't give a shit about that because it's not game assets yet. So, smart. AI assets just being used as throwaway marketing, like hooks on a line set up to an automatic bell with somebody sleeping in a tent pretty far away.
Speaking of Game Pass, here's what's coming and going in March. Lawrence, what did you mean by Inside Games is on your side?
I don't know. Whenever I think about us doing daily news, I think about like a segment where we really ham it up. But hey, times are tough out there. All right, everybody's you got to squeeze every dollar, price of eggs and whatnot. So Inside Games is on your side. We're going to tell you if you can get free games, discounted games, and also give you a brief reminder if you happen to be subscribed to all these services already, what you actually have access to or are losing access to. So Inside Games, on your side.
Yeah, I love it. So in the spirit of that, coming to Game Pass, we've got Balatro, which actually came last week. So if you've already gotten addicted to this game, be careful, because I've played like 70 hours and I can't stop. And I don't even really want to play it anymore, but I'm still playing it. Monster Train, Galacticare, One Lonely Outpost, Enter the Gungeon, Mullet Mad Jack, and 33 Immortals game preview will all be coming to Game Pass in March.
Yeah, that's right. Just one little note, Galacticare is going to Game Pass Standard. So there's multiple tiers. That's basically the bottom one. Everything else is coming to console and PC Game Pass. Now here's what's leaving. These games are all departing Game Pass on March 15th. Set aside some time to finish them if you haven't yet. Evil West, Lies of P, No More Heroes 3, Solar Ash, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Yakuza 5 Remastered, and Yakuza 6 The Song of Life. That's That's a hell of a list to get through in the next week or so, but I believe in you. You can do it.
Inside Games is on your side. Speaking of people who are on your side, here's some Inside Games patrons that support our Patreon every single month. And we're pleased to announce they have just nailed a 900. Old Baby Leg and Ian McGee.
We can be young forever, Bruce, as long as we just don't stop listening to ska. We got some more patrons here that just finished their 900th viewing of the 2003 movie Grind, featuring Bam Margera. Great film. DJ Kento and Shaky Pants. You're going to need some recovery after that. That movie's terrible.
Which one do you want?
I don't care. They're all the same shape.